What's going on, everybody? I hope you had a great Monday. I hope you got the week started off good. And I hope that you looked at the thing that I posted this morning about the 10 steps for overcoming a storm and read it and really thought about it, right? One of them was believing that you're built for the storm, right? That you don't curse the storm, that you see the storm as a cleansing. But everybody is going through a storm right now. We're all going through a storm. I don't care what class you come from. I don't care what race you are. I don't care what gender you are. Whatever. You are going through a storm. We are all going through it. And so many people are freaking out and they're stressing and they're thinking this is going to last forever and that it's the end of the world or whatever. And it's not, right? Like any storm, like any hurricane, it comes and it goes. It might do a lot of damage. It might be there for a minute. And there might be some cleanup after, but it goes, right? It's natural. A hurricane is natural. It's from here. It's not something that was sent from outer space or from some, whatever. It's from Earth. It's when the ground and the weather and everything shifts and comes together and it combats and it hits against each other and a storm comes. People can freak out in the storm. And I get it. Hey, it's crazy right now. It is. It's stressful. I understand that. But take this time to really grow. Take this time to raise up the level. Take this time to better yourself. See this storm as something that you can learn from, that you can gain from, that you can become better on the outside. And when it ends, because it will end eventually, you hit the ground running. I've been talking about finding your potential, right? Finding your purpose, finding your calling, not worrying about the storm, not stressing about it. And all through the Old Testament, right? It talks about storms, right? It talks about it. And God compares himself constantly through in Isaiah and Deuteronomy and Leviticus and Psalms and Proverbs, right? He compares himself to an eagle and talks about the principles and the characteristics of an eagle. And why is he talking about the eagle? Why? We know in America that, hey, eagles is the national bird and we know about it and we've seen it. But do you really understand what an eagle is and what it does, right? The eagle is the only bird that loves the storm. When it sees the storm coming, it gets excited. It flies towards the storm. Most birds, they fly the opposite way. Most animals they go in hiding, right? They get ready for it and try to bear the effects of the storm. But not the eagle. The eagle flies towards the storm. And why does it fly towards the storm? Because it knows what the storm will do for it. It's a selfish desire that it goes towards the storm. I don't know if anybody knows or have ever studied, but an eagle goes into the storm and it uses the wind. The more powerful the storm is, the higher the wind is, it uses it to fly up. It locks its wings out, right? The eagle, it has like these certain muscles in its wings that when they lock out completely, the muscles engage and they lock the wings in. And so it uses that wind to propel it up to the top of the storm. And then it just sits there and it floats and it lets the storm carry it. It doesn't have to flap. It doesn't have to put out any energy. It lets the storm carry it. And while it's carrying it, all that wind, all that power that's coming from the storm, it's cleaning the eagle out. The eagle locks itself. That muscle starts to get stronger, right? That's how the eagle really tests to see how strong it is and to see if it's lost its strength. It uses those muscles to lock out and it sees, okay, am I getting stronger or have I been getting weaker? And do I need to do work? So while it's locked out, it's testing itself. That's the first thing it does. The second thing it does is it lets the wind clean it, right? Because it can get all dirty. The wings are so thick on the eagle that dirt and all that stuff starts to pile up in it and it becomes heavy and it's hard for the bird to be able to fly around, right? The eagle gets weak and it's just like it wears it down. Where is that in your own life? right? Have we let so many things come on us and to make us dirty, right? And to hold us down and to weigh us down, and we feel like, I'm trying to push forward, I'm trying to be better, I'm trying to reach what my calling is, I'm trying to reach my potential, and it just feels like the weight of the world is on my shoulders. It feels like this relationship or this job or this situation is holding me down, and it gets heavy. And as it gets heavier and heavier, you get weaker and you get weaker and you get weaker. The same thing with the eagle. As it gets dirtier, as it gets more stuff piled on it, it gets weaker. So it goes into the storm, it flies up, and it lets the wind clean its wings. It lets it blow out all the dead wings, all the dirt, all the little rodents, all the stuff that are trapped within the wings. It lets it clean it. So now it's tested itself, it's become stronger, it's cleansed itself. And not only that, but it's got to be able, it sat there and rested, right? The eagle is a heavy bird. So it has to flap and it has to use a lot of energy to get from one place to the next. But in the storm, in this powerful, powerful wind, it's just resting. It's coasting. It's using the gift that God gave him to be able to relax, to not stress, to let the storm do its work. It's not worried about the storm. It's not upset about the storm. It doesn't hate the storm. It actually loves the storm, because the storm strengthens the eagle. It cleans the eagle. It makes it stronger, and it gives it some time to rest and time to focus. And then it uses the storm for what it needs, and then it goes. It doesn't get stuck in the storm forever, because it knows the storm's going to leave. The storm's not going to last forever. So it takes what it needs and it goes. And that's what I want to encourage people in today. Hey, use this time to really cleanse yourself, to look at your life and see, what have I been holding on to? What's still weighing me down? What do I need to get rid of? Because you have time to sit and really reflect. You have time to journal. You have time to see what's holding you back. I talked with some of the guys tonight and talking about the wounds from our childhood that are still holding us back, that keep putting us in a repetitive cycle. What are we still holding on to that's holding us from reaching the level that we were called to reach? So cleanse yourself in this storm. Test yourself. Just like the eagle tests its strength, you are going to test your strength. Are you ready for what's coming next? Are you ready for what you're going to step into? Can you handle what's coming? Hey, you get to see, can you handle this crisis? Can you handle being the leader that you need to be in this time for your family, for your church, for your society, for your community, for whatever? Are you ready? Are you strong enough? Have you taken the time to strengthen what you have, to strengthen those muscles, to strengthen that gift that God gave you from jump, right? Because those muscles, the eagles didn't get those years later. No, it was born with those muscles. It was born to lock out that way. You were born with the gifts, you were born with the strength, and you were born with the power, but you haven't tested yourself. Or if you've been tested, you failed because you feel like, I can't do it. You feel like this testing is too strong for me. It's too much to hold on to. No, it's trying to show you how powerful you are. It's trying to show you you got it, that you can do it. Don't give up. Become better, right? Become stronger. But you got to be tested to see, am I ready? Right? So cleanse yourself, test yourself, and also rest on what God has for you and what He created you for, and know that He has you in His hands. Yeah, it might be bumpy, it might be scary, it might be lightning and powerful storms and powerful wind, and everything seems like it's collapsing around you, and you see everything getting blown apart, because that's what a storm can do. It can blow everything apart. But no, hey, I'm sitting on top of the storm, I'm resting, and I'm letting God carry me. The storm carries the eagle. It gets to just relax. It uses the storm's power to carry it. So use the power of the storm to carry you. Know that your Father has you and that He won't drop you. So let Him carry you. Let Him guide you. Let Him take care of you. Don't get stressed about it. Don't worry. Know you're taken care of. So take this time and test yourself, strengthen yourself, cleanse yourself, focus your vision. Right? When it's in the storm, the eagle can see for miles because it's at the top of the storm and it can see where it's going. It gets to refocus itself. So take this time and start focusing your vision. I talked the other day about having your vision, that God gave you a vision. Take this time and start writing it down. Really, write it down. You have to have a plan. You have to be focused. So when this crisis ends, when this storm goes away, you're like the eagle. You're focused, you're prepared, and you're flying forward. And you know exactly where you're going, and you know exactly what you need to do. Don't waste this time. Hey, I've sat around, I've watched some Netflix and stuff like that too, and I've wasted more time than I should have. So I know this in my own life. I have to prepare myself. I have to get focused. I have to cleanse myself. I have to rest on what God has for me. And I have to make sure that as soon as this crisis is done, I'm there. I'm ready to go, and I'm stronger than I ever was before. So I just want to encourage you, use this storm for the good. Know you're ready for it. Know you can do it. And see what it's there for. Read about the eagle. Read about it and see exactly why it uses the storm. You will be surprised of what the eagle does. And this is why it's the king of the birds. This is a reason it's the king of the birds, because it uses what the other birds are scared of, what the other birds are afraid of, and what the other birds run from. It uses it to make it even better. So take this time, study, read, prepare, focus yourself, and don't stress about it. You are good. You are taken care of, and you are loved. And everybody out there that's lost loved ones, I'm sorry. Right? I know this can be like, oh yeah, right? You didn't have to go anything. You didn't lose anybody. I understand, and I'm not putting myself in your shoes. And I'm sorry that you have gone through this, and I'm sorry for the pain that's come from it. I really am. And I pray that you can use this pain and turn it into something great, and turn it into something that's going to add value into people's lives, and it's going to change their lives. And as soon as the storm's over, you're going to be unstoppable. So just really, I beg you to take this time. I beg you, I beg you, I beg you. Learn why the eagle loves the storm and apply it to your own life. Apply it. Cleanse yourself, strengthen yourself, focus yourself, and rest on what God gave you and what He has for you. Have a great day. Have a great week. New teachings coming. Subscribe, share. Let me know what you want to learn about. I got so much stuff prepared and ready to go. It's about to come because I'm focusing my vision. I'm focusing what I need to do, and I'm going to run towards it. God bless.